Hello. My mate Dan asked me how I pray, didn't you, Dan? And then I said I'd write it down, and then I didn't, did I? No, not really. So I'm recording this video because it's quicker. Right? Uh, how I pray is I've got a real problem with praying because whenever I close my eyes, I just have mayhem. And I think knowing what I do about different people and different character types, I think that's pretty common, isn't it? I think we all do it. In fact, I think literally everybody does that. So I found this way of praying that works because it takes out my own guilt at not praying the right way. Amazing, fantastic, because everyone prays in a different way, and I found that this worked really well, and it totally changed my life. So this is how I pray. I don't know how I came across. Actually, I think a mate of mine called Lee put me onto a certain way of praying. Lee, you know who you are, and that didn't work either. But it kind of opened my eyes to a different technique. So here we go. This is it. So let's say the problem is with prayer normally is you close your eyes, and then you have this total mayhem happening, and you go like, there's a wigwam fire, and here is the thing, is a church made out of wood lice, and they're walking through. What's my mother doing in here? Nightmare! She's exploding! And so you have to have a way of kind of controlling this mayhem, because not controlling it, but having a place for it, because that's the way our brains work. So what I found was there's like the temple, right? And there's this kind of classic model for the temple whereby there's different kind of zones. And this bit of the temple, in the kind of in the sort of like in the Old Testament, there's a really clear description of the temple. And the really cool thing is that the courtyard of the temple is a place where there's a bit of mayhem. Like, it's all right to have a little bit of mayhem, and that was crucial because it meant that whenever I closed my eyes, the mayhem that I had in my brain, as we do when we're processing the day, had a place to be. And so whenever I kind of woke up and went, I should be praying, I'm getting this wrong, I should be praying, I'm getting this wrong. Instead of doing that, I kind of just relaxed and went, it's part of the courtyard of the temple. It's all right. It's all right to have that processing time, right? So we have this kind of mayhem bit. That kind of goes like this. And then occasionally you have a kind of polarized bit of a thought and think, yeah, I need to pray about that. And then you go mayhem again, mayhem, and then you kind of go, oh yeah, actually I need to pray about that. And then you go, mayhem. And eventually you get to the stage where your thoughts are clear enough that you can work your way up the steps to the next level. Now I picture here that I meet Jesus. He stands there. Now there's a zillion tons of iconography in here. If you study the layout of the temple and all the different meanings of stuff, there's like some super cool. There's like pillars here, and there's stuff that means different things. But this is a simplified version. So I picture myself. I finally get to the stage where I'm ready to pray, and I talk to Jesus, and I go up, and I go, there's two things that I need to do. First of all, I see all the stuff that I should have done and didn't do. I see that like a massive rucksack on my back, like the stuff that I hold against myself, the stuff that I did wrong. I feel I kind of can't really cope with it, so I kind of just go, well, screw it. Take the rucksack off and hand that over to Jesus, and he takes it off. He takes it off me. Easy, done, right? However, there's a different type of thing that I get wrong that is really difficult to let go, and I believe, the more people I've spoken to about this, I think that everyone has a kind of like attaché case, like a kind of that little thing that is really difficult to let go because no one else knows about it, and that's the kind of secret, really broken bit that you find that you can't solve. That's key, right? So I take a little moment there and I hand the attaché case over to Jesus, and that's really important because then he's happy to have it. Believe me, he's happy to have it, because then we can walk together. And this is what happens. We then walk together up to the next step, and in here is the Holy of Holies. Now the cool thing about the Holy of Holies is that there used to be a curtain across it. There used to be a blockage between God and man, but the whole point of Jesus was to get rid of that, was to say, actually, we're good, we're cool, don't worry about it. Now, the thing that used to get in my way was I used to think I could never earn my way into the Holy of Holies. I could never deserve to have a relationship with God. I just can't do it. I've tried. I cannot do it. But actually, what Jesus did is go, it's his authority that gets us there, and that's crucial. So finally, we stand there, and I stand outside the holy place where God exists, and I just kind of go. It takes probably about 10 minutes. This bit, so difficult for me, but I kind of go. It's not my authority that's getting me into here. It's not my authority that's getting me into a relationship with God. It's this guy. It's the guy with the rucksack and the attaché case. He says, I'm all right to be in here. Now, when that happens, when I clock it, when I finally get it, good stuff happens. And I just take a step forward. And sometimes I do this on my knees, sometimes whatever works for you. But I've prayed like this for probably 3 years. And it started off, it used to take me about 45 minutes to get to a place where I was ready to say a prayer, a single prayer, and ready to step into that holy place. But now it takes about 40 minutes. Yeah, professional. It's still a nightmare because my head is still really busy. It still takes me absolutely ages to get that kind of polarised, that linear thought process and just let go of certain things. But when I do, and I step into the presence of God, good things happen. I feel real peace, because that's the whole point of the Holy of Holies, is that there is no curtain anymore, and that the real peace is all around us. And the more I do it, the more I practice it, and I probably do this once a week, because this takes a long time, right? So once a week. And the more I do it, the more I find that my life has completely changed. Up until about 4 years ago, I used to stutter. I used to find it very difficult to talk, and I'd be lost for words for, 10, 20 seconds. It's really awkward. And I don't do that anymore. Up until about 3 or 4 years ago, I used to really struggle with depression. And that's a different story for another day, but I don't anymore. I'm joyous, and I felt real peace in my guts for flipping ages, months. Yeah, which is really cool. So prayer is different for different people, different character types, and that's all right, that's cool. But God's message is, if we can get the guilt of not getting it right out of the way, good things happen, really good things happen. So Dan, this is for you, mate. Try it, and if it doesn't work, don't worry about it. Try something else, because something will work. Bless you.